Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome to the new reaction series of American Horror Stories. If you're new to the channel, my name is Scott, hi. I tend to do a lot of reactions to some shows like Supernatural, The 100, but I do also cover a lot of anthology stuff, so Are You Afraid of the Dark I'm covering, Creeped Out, Tales from the Crypt, things like that. So, whilst I've seen every season of American Horror Story, I never thought I'd cover it on this channel until they announced American Horror Stories, and I thought because it's an anthology series, it'd be really cool to cover this on my channel and see how it is, because what I like about at least the original series of American Horror Story is how they were all individual. Obviously, over time, they started to link. I'm intrigued to know if the same thing happens here, because they're meant to be individual, but you know what Ryan Murphy's like, changes his mind all the time, and I'm interested to see if they link to the main series, which I think they will, because I know the first two episodes are called Rubber Woman, like man, but what man? And obviously we all know that the Rubber Man was in the first season of American Horror Story, and it was Tate, I believe. It's been so many years since I watched it. My favourite season of American Horror Story was probably either Murder House, Asylum, or Coven. I thought they were great. They're probably the only seasons I've actually watched more than once. But I've enjoyed most of the seasons in some regards. I have a soft spot for Roanoke because I quite like the way it was filmed and the twists and stuff on the normal format. But every season to some degree I've liked little parts of. But the original series were my favourites, so I'm intrigued to see where this goes, what kind of direction. I have no idea. They're starting off with a two-parter, so I'm not going to have a chance to do both episodes today, I don't think. So I'm going to do one, see if I can get it through YouTube copyright, fingers crossed, and then take it from there. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for every episode of American Horror Stories Season 1. I believe there's only 7, but I'm not entirely sure. And there's a Patreon link down below if you want to help support the channel, as well as get the full-length reaction to this episode, as well as every episode for this season. And let's jump into Season 1, Episode 1. That's 2. Season 1, Episode 1 of American Horror Stories, Rubber Woman, Part 1. Also, it is very, very, very hot in the UK today. I am sweating, and if you wonder why I've got a hoodie on, it's extremely thin. It's not a very warm material at all, and that's why I'm wearing it. And also, I wanted to wear like a horror thing for the horror show, and yeah. So if I'm very red and very sweaty, I apologise. It is baking outside, so we Brits, we're not used to this kind of heat, you know. We're not built for it. I also know there's some actors. Okay, Matt Bomer. I was going to say there's some actors from American Horror Story in it, and I'm intrigued to see how many who appears.
Can't you guys be into normal gay music like Britney or Madonna or even show tunes?
Wow.
Here comes the fun police again.
I hate you both, seriously.
Oh,
He looks familiar. Scarlet, she's called. Okay. Because it's a rubber woman, sorry. Are they not moving to Murder House, are they? Okay, yeah, this looks familiar. God, it's been so many years since I watched that. Hi, Murder House. Here we are again. I mean, I'm in two minds. Part of me wants it to be its own separate thing, and not just kind of leech off the back of the success of American Horror Story. But I reserve judgment until we've seen it, see how well it tells its story.
Oh, I haven't seen any ghosts yet.
And you won't, because ghosts don't exist.
In this house they do. You'll see.
Am I still gonna be able to go to college after you guys burn all our money renovating this place?
Are you aware of what the 7th most popular ride at Disneyland is?
Minnie Mouse?
Oh, yes, that's funny. No, it's the Haunted Mansion. And did you know what
Brilliant
the 3rd
ride.
most popular holiday in America is?
Halloween.
We're gonna offer haunted getaways and haunted honeymoons and sleepover party massacres, all kinds of branded stays.
All with the best coffee and homemade pastries in the city for breakfast.
Oh dear.
If you survive the
Oh my god. Stop!
That actor looks really familiar. Oh god. See, now I can't remember all the ghosts that were in this house. There was the one in the attic, right? The girl, I think. Ruby suit. I never not be able to hear Kill Bill when I hear this song. I mean, she looks good in it. But yeah. We know the other man did really, really bad things to people. That's not her.
Fear isn't what stops us from doing what we want.
So then what does?
Shame.
Is that Paris Jackson?
Shame is what keeps us from being our true
It's Michael
selves.
Jackson's daughter, right?
I bet everybody in here could face their fears with enough encouragement, but not one would be able to face their shame.
You know, if a boy stared at me like that, I'd probably report him for harassment.
God, I'm so sorry. I haven't been sleeping super well. I'm just kind of out of it.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Hello.
Smart is the new perfect 10.
Please don't be playing a prank on her.
What was
Because
that?
that ain't cool.
I think she was flirting with me.
Tell me every word.
Well, I might have to cut this out for YouTube. Okay, so she's getting off on killing someone after putting the rubber suit on. And we all know how that ends. Rubber's not even normally my thing, but for Evan Peters, I will give it a go. Whoa. Hello. Oh my god, you'd shit yourself, right? Is anyone else getting the vibe that this is all I set up? Because she's jumping straight from, come over, let's, you know, do rude things.
He's got his other hand here.
Rather than just let's get to know each other, let's talk. I don't know, just, I don't like it. I'm protecting my
Started early?
Scarlet.
About a year ago, I found some pretty extreme porn on your computer.
We have to go through this again. I told you guys I'm not looking at that stuff anymore.
That is what you told us. You gave us your word.
Which is why it is so disappointing that you still are. In fact, it
What?
looks like you moved on to even more disturbing material. The level of physical pain and humiliation that these girls are suffering.
Okay.
It's just not good for your young brain to see that.
So she's
Being
into that kind of
wired
stuff.
Right now, Scarlett, I
It
mean,
wasn't just the suit.
it's gonna be hard for you to have normal sex after seeing some of this stuff.
I look at vanilla stuff too sometimes.
Hardly ever.
It's a bit grim that they're spying so hard,
Can I
though,
ask you
but
something?
I understand their
When you watch these
concern.
things, do you fantasize about being the masochist or the sadist?
Okay, this is way too fucked up a conversation to have with your parent.
I knew that suit would come back as soon as you put it in the bin. It's such a horror trope that you throw something away and it magically appears back. Whether it's a suit, a haunted doll, a dummy, you know what I mean. Is she gonna kill her parents or oh? Shoot. Also, we've had an episode of Matt Bowman. He's not took his top off yet. What's wrong with the show?
What the hell? Troy! Scarlett, you okay?
Who are you?
I'm gonna call 911. Just get out of our house. Get out of our fucking house!
Isn't it cool though?
No.
Were you scared?
Eventually,
Take
she's
that
going to
thing off.
attack it
Go
and
take
put
a
money
very
on
hot
it.
shower. I don't ever want to see that again.
No, I'm keeping it.
Absolutely not.
God, you guys think you can control every part of me. Well, guess what? It is my body and my mind, and you can't control it.
Yeah? Okay, fine. Then I'm gonna tear it off your mouth.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought she was going to have to stab him then.
You think he needs stitches?
2000 found that only
Mary Donkey.
17% of
Hey,
young
girl.
women under 18 watch porn for sexual excitement, and only 0.3 of them watched violent porn.
When Scarlett was 3, she was kidnapped.
Oh.
I was at the market, and I put her in her car seat first, and then I went around back to put the groceries in the trunk.
Oh. That looked like Paris Jackson then.
While I was back there, someone stole the car.
No. Mary Donkey. I knew she was going to die. Here we go. Matt Bomer, no top on. Thank you, Ryan Murphy. He always delivers. One thing you can say about Ryan Murphy is he always knows how to pick hot guys for his shows.
Whose blood was that?
I don't know. Hers?
Would you not
Time of the month?
Oh, right.
take it to the place?
That also explain how bitchy she's been.
Maybe I'm wrong.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Are you experimenting or think you might be gay?
You've watched porn, haven't you?
I don't think the kind of porn I watch would really be helpful.
Why? It's okay.
Because it's intense,
You
Paul.
can tell me. I like violent stuff. Extreme S&M. Pain.
That sounds hot.
This. I am mad. For a second I started to believe her then as well. I don't know why. Oh. She stuck to my instincts. What an absolute bitch. And she's going to get killed, I hope. And I'm going to enjoy every second of it.
I'm gonna end the night by killing myself.
Bullshit.
No. You humiliated me. Everyone at school saw it. So I'm gonna commit suicide and leave a note saying very clearly that you guys are the reason why.
Remember that case at Rutgers where those guys outed a kid by secret webcam and ended up killing himself?
The assholes who filmed him were arrested and kicked out of school. They spent 5 years in court and time in jail.
Scarlett, wait. We were just messing around.
Oh, piss off. You deserve whatever comes to you, bitch.
All of you.
Sorry. I hate her. I hate
Your
her.
fake, shitty lives will be over.
It's just the wind.
But also, what right do you have to just go into someone's house? Oh yeah, because you want to cover your own backs. Yeah, baby. You got what you deserve, bitch. I know murder's wrong, but... And then she put them behind the wall. Oh my god.
I do a good job. You know, when you were asking me about the sites I was looking at, whether I fantasize about being the one inflicting the pain or the one being tortured, it's the former.
Okay, sweetheart. Thanks for telling us. Get you some breakfast.
She said that with like a little tone in her voice that was like a bit threatening, which I like.
I've never felt better in my life.
I like the fact that she's referenced another therapist. We all know who that is. Hello. So who's that? Because that's not Tate, right? Because it looks too tall to be Tate. I can't remember if anyone else was the Rubber Man in the episode. Like I said, it's been a number of years since I watched the first season. Okay, that was my reaction to Season 1, Episode 1 of American Horror Stories, or Rubber Woman, Part 1. And I don't know what to think, really. Like, my initial reaction, my initial thoughts right now are, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It was fun. But with a lot of two-part episodes, the first episode is hard to fully judge the whole story on because there's obviously another episode to pay off a lot of what we've just seen. And so I can't fully talk about my whole feelings about the story as a whole until then. So this will probably be a shorter little review than the next one will be. But I'll talk a little bit about what we did see. I think my initial reaction was a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure about this, but purely because I didn't realise how closely it was going to tie into the original series. Now, I preferred American Horror Story just on a personal level back in the original seasons when there wasn't really connection between them. They were all just random stories, random new characters, new universe every time. Obviously, we'd learned throughout the seasons they all connected and they all interwoven, and I assumed that this was being a new show, even though it is American Horror Story, that they were all going to be individual anthology stories with no connections. I didn't realise episode 1 and episode 2 not only were going to have a rubber woman, the title kind of gave that away, but it was going to be set in Murder House. So I didn't watch any trailers, nothing like that. I wanted to go into it as fresh as possible. So I think I was just surprised by how connected it was. Now, what they did well is you could watch this without never watching American Horror Story and still understand what happened. Now, for those who did watch it, there was little glimpses of things that we've seen before. The little ghosts that we saw in the basement, we've seen them before. And the rubber man we've seen before. Although it didn't look like it was Tate. The body shape looked a bit too big to be Tate. It looked a bit too tall. But I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, they did a really good job of making it individual whilst referencing stuff for fans of the original show. So the story itself was Scarlett and her parents moved into the murder house. And she was starting at a new school, and she got this dark past where we learned that she was kidnapped when she was 3. Now, my money initially went to, it's Paris Jackson because it was a woman with long blonde hair, but they purposely didn't show us the face. Now, with everything that happened with Paris Jackson's character, Maya, and the friends, I don't think it's her anymore, but I think it might be somebody that we've met in the old show because they purposely hid it from us. It might just be a case of we never find out, but I don't think that's going to be it at all. I think it's going to be at least an actress from American Horror Story that we've seen before, but I'm not 100% sure. I won't get a chance to watch part 2 today. I might try and watch it tomorrow so that I don't get spoilers on it. We'll see what I can do. But she had a dark upbringing in the sense that she likes dark porn, S&M, quite intense, violent porn, which I understand from a parental point of view that is a little concerning just because she's so young. What I don't like is I actually found the parents really annoying. Like, it's nice to see 2 male gay parents on a show, and it's not a big issue. They're just parents. It's never explained why they're both parents to her, whether she was a surrogate or adopted, whatever. I don't think. They're just her parents, and I like that. They're just annoying, though. They're really annoying. Like, the way they spoke to her at times was so, like, this isn't helpful words. This isn't helpful behaviour, and I think sometimes they felt caught. I felt like they were cornering her at times, and sometimes the way they spoke to her was more about them than it was about her. Like, I get it, she lashed out and she slashed the guy's arm. Fine, be upset with her. Because I'm not talking to you for weeks. Like, are you not more concerned that your young daughter came up in this uniform, this outfit, slashed you with a knife? And yeah, she's sorry about it, but you're not more concerned about what the hell's going on. Because a minute ago you were concerned about the porn, and now she's done this, but you're more concerned about your... I get being concerned about your arm at the moment, but does it make sense what I'm saying? I hope it does. That there was just ways and words that they spoke about her, or to her, that I was like, I don't know if I like that, but they weren't the worst parents in the world, but I don't think they were good either. Now, those bully characters, right? Call me wrong for liking the fact that they got murdered, but it is a huge trigger of mine, like I said, in the reaction. I don't know what I have to cut out for YouTube. Bullies are a massive trigger. If you watch a lot of my channel, you will know that bullies trigger me. And if there's a bully in a show and they get killed, I'm all for it, because bullies ruin so many people's lives, whether it's bullies in school or online bullies. The amount of people that have been driven to do self-harm and worse because of that is too much, and they don't get policed enough or stopped. So yes, in real life that wouldn't be a good thing to do, take them to a basement and kill them, but am I sorry? No. I'm actually quite glad they're gone. They deserved pain, punishment for what they did. What they did was awful. Regardless of what this girl was going through in the background, she was a young girl who hadn't come out, and they exposed her sexuality, they embarrassed her, they humiliated her, and they made her expose some dark secrets. Now, I was right from day 1, part 1, minute 1, whatever, that Paris was using her for a prank and taking the mick out of her. But annoyingly, I let myself drop that guard a little bit when they were talking. I still wasn't sold, but I was starting to look. I was coming around a little bit to a character and like, oh, maybe she's not too bad. And then she got the text about the live stream, so I'm not sad that they've gone. But I'm sad the therapist died, because I like Marion Dungey as an actress. I've seen her. Primarily, I love her from Alias. If you've watched Alias, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was a really good setup. I think that's what two-parters tend to do a lot. A lot of it is set up. We've got the girl who found the rubber suit. She wore it, and she's clearly being sort of possessed because she gets the black eyes when she's in the suit. But we've also seen like the male Runman guy. But I'm intrigued to see where it all pays off, because there's been so many references to Murder House in terms of like inhabitants. There's another therapist there. We know who that is. We know who the original Rubberman was. I think. I mean, it's been so long, you can correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I'm just excited to see where it goes and to see where Scarlett's dive into a dark, murderous path goes. Because obviously now she's put the bodies all behind the wall. The parents don't know about it. I feel like she's going to kill the parents at some point. And maybe she's going to get killed and then she's going to become a ghost in the murder house. But that also makes me excited now that I know that American Horror Stories is so fundamentally linked to the other show. I'm excited but also nervous to see how every story moving forward links to the main show. Now, I do hope they do some stories where it's just its own standalone 1 hour story and that's it, and with no connections, because I quite enjoy those, because then I don't have to think too much about, right, what was in that season, who was that connected to. Sometimes it's fun. Like, I love Are You Afraid of the Dark in particular, because it's just a 25 minute episode. I don't have to remember anything about before or after. It's just its own self-contained little story. That's what I thought this was going to be. And it wasn't, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where part 2 goes. Now, I hope I can get this edited and up pretty quickly, but I apologise if this is a few days behind. I'm recording this on Friday night. I've just finished work. I'm recording this now. I'm going to try and edit it tonight and get it up, but it all depends on copyright with YouTube and FX and what they let me put on. So, fingers crossed you'll see this shortly. But if not, the full reaction will be on Patreon anyway. But if you're watching this, you're either already on Patreon or it's on YouTube, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. As always, my name is Scott. Hope you guys are well, taking care of yourselves and staying safe. If you enjoyed the video, please leave some comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for the rest of Season 1 of American Horror Stories. I'll try and get Episode 2 up soon, depending on how well the edit goes for this one. And yeah, take a look at my Patreon. I'll see you all very soon for the next episode. Bye, guys. Take care and stay safe.